This segment of the Alice Stewart Show is brought to you by Aero Plumbing. For all your household or business plumbing needs, call Aero Plumbing at 1-866-PLUMBER or schedule an appointment online at aeroplumbing.net.
It is a great day to be alive. 7:34, joined in studio with Laurie Lee, Republican consultant and strategist. A lot of folks bleary-eyed this morning after the GOP governor's debate, GOV debate between Mike Ross and Asa Hutchinson last night. Your thoughts on that, Laurie? The key takeaways. They hit on is a great debate. Hit on a lot of the same topics as the previous debate, where they talked about both of them about jobs. Talked about early childhood education being the key to success, or education being the key. They talked about Second Amendment. They talked about their tax plan. But your takeaway in terms of what new information did we get, or your thoughts?
Well, I don't know that we got a bunch of new information as much as we saw Mike Ross running toward the middle and trying to be the guy who's conservative on guns, conservative on abortion, conservative on all these issues, when clearly his voting record as a Democrat in Washington has been different. So I would just say, again, stop listening to the rhetoric and go look at people's records, because that's what they're going to do when they get there. But one thing is clear is that Asa is ahead in the polls, and when you see Mike Ross coming out so strong, you know that he knows he's behind and he's got to do something drastic. And
he was aggressive, just like he was in the first one. And the ads have gotten a lot of play. And topics, both feeling like the ads have been negative, and Ross calling Asa a slick lawyer and politician, using that kind of rhetoric. Clearly, he is really trying to push back and being more aggressive in these, and that's what you do when you're behind in the polls. But it was a good debate. I think that we showed a lot of contrast. Still, a lot of similarities in the two candidates. It's just as you say, they say similar things on the stage, but the key is looking at the record and who is true person to represent the conservative views and values of this state. This is a conservative state. I want to switch to the other huge race that people are watching. There's a lot of national politicians in town this week covering Bill Clinton. I've had a lot of meetings with them and talking with them about the prior cotton race. And it's interesting. Monday night, I met with some national news crews, and they were frustrated because Casey Hunt from MSNBC got an interview with Mark Pryor, and how can they do that? And little did we know what that interview entailed, because we saw it Tuesday morning, and it was quite a jaw dropper. And a lot of folks are talking about it. Mark Pryor's gotten a lot of heat on this, and this was Casey Hunt from MSNBC approached Mark Pryor at an event here, asking him about the Ebola virus and what needs to be done with this. Of course, this is huge news. A lot of folks are concerned with now Ebola is here in the U.S. How do we respond? Listen to the audio clip. Casey Hunt, MSNBC, asking Senator Mark Pryor about Ebola.
Do you think that the Obama administration has done an appropriate job handling the Ebola crisis?
I would say that it's hard to know because I haven't heard the latest briefing on that to know all the details. I mean, I read the paper and all, but my impression is that we have people over there, both from CDC and other medical type people, and even some engineers to try to build, medical facilities. That's what they need over there. They need the medical infrastructure.
And have we been aggressive enough in helping them do that?
Again, I'd have to see the latest numbers.
I really thought that was a Saturday Night Live skit. I didn't believe that.
It is not one yet.
I didn't believe that was true. When I first heard that, I literally said that is not Mark Pryor. That can't be Mark Pryor.
It was.
It is.
And a lot of folks even left the media that is generally very forgiving of those kind of things, have just really hammered him. A lot of headlines are Mark Pryor, President Obama, and Ebola. the prior issued a response to this. Clearly, it's Morning Joe, MSNBC, really just took him to task over this, and they issued a response, the prior campaign, saying, quote, "I have given better answers to tougher questions, but the fact is we've got to do everything possible to prevent an outbreak here at home. That starts with containing the diseases spread in Western Africa, and our military and airport screening efforts are the right thing to do." That would have been a great answer that night. But I'm going to finish. In the interest of fairness, I will finish. But that would have been a great answer Monday night. But what's not right, however, is to vote against adequate funding for the Center for Disease Control, which Congressman Cotton has done. In the interest of giving the full reply, that's it. But the first part of that would have been a really suitable answer to that question.
And you know what? I mean, this gotcha politics is old. I mean, we're 27 days out. We're all punchy. Politicos, it's nice to have this kind of thing to laugh at. But the fact of the matter is, everybody does this kind of stuff. The coffee cup thing with the president and the salute. So I really hate people to think that they would change their vote over a soundbite of Mark Pryor going, it's just fun. It's fun for us. Now, what he thinks about the policy, he had time to go back and get briefed, and that's fine. And if that's where he stands, great answer. But it just as somebody who's inundated with all this stuff, it's every once in a while it's kind of fun to have this kind of thing to laugh at and talk about, because that really was a horrible clip and a bad soundbite from Mark Pryor.
And it was, and it will be played over and over and over. But it just goes to, and this comes on the heels of the same reporter, Casey Hunt, asking him about Congressman Cotton's military service, and him saying that Congressman Cotton feels entitled to be a U.S. senator based on his military experience. So he's had two run-ins. Well, no, that was horrible. With the same reporter, and that was something that he felt pretty strongly on at the time. And this is just another case of him saying something, and I can pretty much put money on the fact he won't be talking with Casey Hunt again in an organized fashion.
Yeah.
And they'll just be a little more protective and pull him back a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. And so they should be. I mean, if I were running a campaign, that's what I'd have told him, stay away from that. But, the comment that he made about Cotton, that was bad.
Yeah. And anyway, it was an interesting clip that if you haven't seen it yet, I'm sure you will see it in some ad one day soon. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we are going to talk EPA regulations and the impact it has on businesses and folks here in Arkansas. Right after this segment of the Alice Stewart Show, brought to you by Aero Plumbing. For all of your household or business plumbing needs, call Aero Plumbing at 1-866-PLUMBER or schedule an appointment online at aeroplumbing.net.